this has been something, like you said, we've been baking for a while now. And yeah, it's finally time to get into this. And like before I could sit down and like conceptualize what in the world would I put on a perfect 10 list, I had to kind of define for me what does it mean to have something that is in fact a perfect 10.
Yes, absolutely. And I think one of the most important things about this, and the irony of us calling it the Perfect Tens episode,
It's not perfect.
it's not perfect. Yeah. There's nothing under the sun that's perfect, right? And so when you look at something that's a 10 out of 10, you really have to figure out what that criteria is for you.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, and you know, for me, the best way that I can describe that for me, like what a perfect 10 would be is like where the goal of the art, so like whether it be a movie, a TV show, video game, comic book, whatever it is, like the goal of the art is executed to such a high level that like any perceived flaws don't hinder the meaning or the message or the overall objective of that art. So like if it is setting out to be like this visual spectacle with these deep enriched character moments that has this phenomenal pacing and, you know, just this wonderful overlay of storytelling that's all blended well together and presented in such a way that is, you know, just this gorgeous piece of art, there might be like these small stumbles or missteps along the way, but as long as they don't deter from that overall goal of what the show is setting out to do, then I think that it's hit its mark.
There can't be like a section of the like big battle at the end where like everyone with a vagina is magically in the same spot.
That's a very odd descriptor that you just used there.
Yeah, it'd be weird to do that.
It would be very weird to do that.
Especially on something you spent like $1 billion on.
Yeah. Especially like if you had done it better in the movie that came out.
Right before that. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be, great example though.
Yeah. That, as a matter of fact, you know, back when we reviewed Endgame, it might have gotten a 10 for me if that scene wasn't in it.
Yeah, it might have been close.
Especially the way I felt that night, you know.
and that is why it is so hard reviewing movies like that, like the night of, because like the hype is fucking real.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this too, I think, you know, with a perfect 10, I think it's not to say that, because I've given 2 10s on the podcast, and they were both very, very recent. So, you know, it's also ironic that I'm sitting here like, oh, they have to kind of stand up to the test of time. Because neither of the things that I gave a 10 have had time for that. They both came out this year, and that was episode 1 of Born Again. And then also, I gave it to the chapter 3 of Andor season 2. And both of those are, you know, we were like a week out from the second one there.
Well, so far they have both withstood the test of time.
Right. But a lot of the things on my list now, I think everything on my list tonight is relatively old, maybe except for one thing. And I think that does kind of go into it too. Is it like 20 years later, can I play the video game or read the book or watch the show and still have it elicit that same feeling for me? Can I take a TV show that captivated me when I was 18, 19 and show it to you and you never seen it before and you're like making the same points that I was, you know, the same things I liked about it then, you now can say you like about it. And,
yes,
you know, I think that all of that has to factor into it as well.
I agree. Well, with that being said, do you want to kick us off?
I will kick us off. I tried to pick a few things from different categories, and I wrote them all down and didn't bring them. But thankfully, there's nothing on this list that's like not in my brain all the fucking time anyway. So I will kick us off with a movie.
Okay.
And I only had 2 movies on my list, and you could probably guess the one, but the one I'm going to start us out with is Jurassic Park.
Oh. The most recent one?
No. No. They don't even make them anymore. They call them Jurassic World now. No, I want to talk about Jurassic Park from 94. Is it?
Or is it 5?
Is it 5? I don't know. You know the one. Jurassic Park. I think that this movie, first off, when it came out, it captured the magic of Hollywood, right? There was a time, I think, in the early 90s and probably through all of the 90s, right, where CGI and digital filmmaking had not really hit the mark yet. Like, there was some CGI in films, but if you go back and look at, like, the original CGI they use in, like, Fellowship of the Ring in 2001, that shit looks rough. If you want a better example of that, go and find, like, a fucking DVD or VHS of The Phantom Menace from 99 and look at, like, how bad the green screen technology and, like, that sort of stuff looked. So, like, there was this time period, I think, and I think it probably really stretched from, I'm going to say, Terminator 2 Judgment Day until Jurassic Park, where that magic wasn't really there. And it may be here and there, but, like, I think people started to kind of think, like, the art of cinema visually had kind of peaked, right? We had Star Wars, we had Terminator, we had Aliens, and like those kind of movies, and like I think for like so many people, it was kind of like, can cinema really deliver that magic? And along came Jurassic Park. The puppetry and stuff in this movie looked so real that, I mean, to me in the 90s watching it, it felt like dinosaurs were a real thing. I'm pretty sure this thing gave me nightmares when I was a kid. Oh, yeah. You know, it's like, even going back and watching it now, like, obviously now I'm 38 years old. I can pick out certain details and stuff, but on the whole, man, and especially the fucking raptors, they're so believable.
For me, it was always the T-Rex. Like, when they're in the cave.
Yeah.
And the T-Rex head comes in. I mean, the fact that they had, like, a physical animatronic prop.
Yeah.
Like, I would be like, can I get a stunt man to stand in here for me?
Oh, yeah, no. I wouldn't want to fucking be near that thing.
Yeah.
Because it was so believable.
It was incredibly believable. And also, Bruce, the shark from Jaws, actually bit somebody. So I definitely wouldn't want to be in the cave with the T-Rex head.
Yeah, I mean, this movie was like the pacing is perfect in this movie. There's nothing in the movie you could cut. Like everything that's in the movie had to be in there. There's no fat on it.
There's actual human characters.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Is like all of the dinosaurs are like extras, basically. But the dinosaurs sell it, right?
Yes.
Like the fact that you believe that these things are going to kill them or whatever, that they're really living, breathing things. And the way they have them interact with the cast is so wonderful that you don't realize it when you're watching it. Like there's that whole scene where they find the Triceratops and it's sick.
Yeah.
And I think it's Alan Grant lays on it and the thing's like breathing and whatever.
Yes.
And like everybody in the theater thought about like what that would be like. Oh man, I wish I could fucking lay on a fucking Triceratops.
Which is a weird sentence to
say.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like just those different things. The writing was incredible. The casting was iconic. I mean, especially your main three characters, with Dr. Grant, Dr. Sadler, and Dr. Malcolm. All of them just, I mean, don't get me wrong. Jeff Goldblum was already big, you know, because of like The Fly and stuff like that. Right. But I mean, he became a megastar after that to the point where he's like the main character of the second one. It's not on this list. Yeah, I enjoy parts of that movie, but it has major flaws. And the other thing too about Jurassic Park is it has never been replicated. They've tried so hard.
I mean, we can literally count the amount of times that they tried. But then there's also offshoot franchises that have tried as well, you know?
Yeah.
But you're right, none of them have been able to recapture that lightning in the bottle that is the original Jurassic Park. And you can look at the 2015 Jurassic World and say, well, that's like one of the highest grossing movies of all time. It is, but it's coasting off of the name value.
And the nostalgia.
Yeah.
I mean, they could re-release Jurassic Park in the theaters right now, and it would make 20, 30 million.
Oh, for sure.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And the other thing about it too is like the dinosaurs have never looked as good as they did in 95 or whatever.
It's just crazy.
And a lot of it has to do with like it's the animatronics, the way they were shot. I think there's only a little bit of CGI in that movie.
Yeah.
And it's mainly from where the T-Rex is chasing the Jeep.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And the way that they did that and the kind of camera tricks that they did with it were off the chain, because, you know, when you see the T-Rex, it's never up close. When the T-Rex is running the CGI, you see him in the rearview mirror, and it's effective. And then the CGI model does the whole thing where he, like, you know, comes forward and like roars at them or whatever.
Yeah.
But like when it opens its mouth and everything, that's the animatronic.
Right.
You know? And then they switch real quick to like the wide shot where the tracking shot, the Jeep's coming at the camera, and you see the thing like way back in the distance, but it's still too close for the characters.
Yeah.
You know, it's just really well done how they hid the CGI back then, because that thing, the model couldn't have been great.
Absolutely not. It would have looked like a video game.
Yeah, and even then, it probably took them like 2 rooms of servers, like weeks to render that shit.
Yeah. But, you know, like, that's what you did back then, you know?
Yeah.
Like, they it's the perfect blend of, like, good storytelling, but also wonderful special effects and money, you know? And so often, at least one of those ingredients is missing.
The characters and the writing are supported by how good the effects are.
Yeah.
It's not the other way around. Your characters and your writing aren't there in service of the effects. You know, the effects aren't what sells it. It's the fact that, like, the dinosaurs are going to fucking kill these characters that you've been made to care about. And they believe it, and so do you.
Yeah.
You know? And yeah, this movie to me, I mean, maybe more than any other, has truly, like, withstood the test of time.
That's a hard one to argue, man. I mean, Jurassic Park is fucking fantastic. Well-deserved movie for a perfect 10.
Yeah, absolutely. What you got, man? Pop off.